Hey, good morning, evening, what have you, whenever you watch this. I know I haven't made a video on this channel and I was looking at this because it's kind of funny. I have not made a video on this channel in about 4 months. You know what happened about 4 months ago? I became a dad. So I'm like finally back into like my lockstep and stuff, like with my daughter. My fiance went through her recovery and stuff. She had to get like an emergency C-section, different kind of stuff. Anyways, all I had to say, I am one proud papa, and I am happy that everybody made it through that situation safe and stuff. But that's kind of where I've been for the last 4 months. So I just kind of wanted to get back into making videos, or at least on this channel. Like right now, I'm not even drunk. I think most of these videos I've been sober. So it's sober skunk right now. But I know it's crazy. I should have recorded this yesterday because I had today's Tuesday morning when I'm recording this. It's 4 a.m. Yesterday I took the day off just just cause like legit I just had like an extra day. I was just like, yeah, I'll take a Monday off and just get an extended weekend. But anyways, what I want to talk about. Oh, actually, I took yesterday off specifically to go help my friend shop for their first car purchase, as in like a financing car. They've had cars before, but this is like their first official car purchase, the first car that they actually bought themselves. So I was taking today off for that, but we got a little bit eager come Saturday morning. And I'm like, hey, let's just go once you get off work. He gets off work at 4. We go to the dealership. We get there not as early as I would have liked, and we're there to about 6:30. Now, I have to set the stage here. So we go to a Hyundai dealership. We go there. He has an income of about $2,800 a month, which isn't like, it's not like a bunch, right? Like I'm not trying to like talk any crap or anything like that. It's not a bunch, but he has virtually no expenses due to his like living situation and stuff. So he has practically no expenses, nothing that he has to do, but he has about a 620 credit score for some stuff that partly in his control, partly out of his control. So again, but like most people they do have like some dings on their credit or something like that, or they have like their growth mistakes at this kind of age. So like me, I'm in my mid 20s, so it's common for people to make some bad financial decisions early 20s, and then from there on they keep it going up, and that's what he's been doing. He's just been keeping it going up. So, oh, and then last part, he has $2,000 down. So I got this picture here from the Matilda movie because when I was thinking, like, how can I show how scummy dealerships, just car salesmen still are? And I think this was like just the perfect picture because this guy was like chief scumbag. So so here's the thing. So we go in there. I gave you the information. We're talking $2,800 in income, virtually I think like 190 dollars of mandatory expenses. So so we're looking at over $2,000 of disposable income per month with a $2,000 down and a 620 credit score, which is not great. It's not even good, but I believe it falls into the fair category with with it like being on the lower side of fair. So he goes in there. We're looking at this. We're like, oh, we saw this car on here. It was used. We like it. Got the low mileage. Can we try this one out? Can we try this one out? Both cars are under $20,000. I believe one is 17,600, and the other is like 19,500. So take 2,000 down. He's paying 2,000 of the car off up front. So they run the numbers, blah blah blah. They're like, after making us sit there for a minute, they're like, "Oh, you're not approved. The bank isn't gonna approve you." Yeah, it's the credit history. Like the bank isn't gonna approve you. The bank is just not gonna approve you, and it's to the point to where they come out, but they're like they're so eager to say this, but we got an option for you. We got something for you that's gonna work for your situation. So the banks are just saying that you just don't have enough like to afford this car with low mileage with your income and stuff like that. So what we have here is a deal for you. They have him like try out this car that's a 2025. He was not coming there to get a model year car. He was not. He was just coming to try to get something reliable, a couple of years older, so the insurance is down and the price is down with low mileage. They're like, no, look, try out this car. We want you to try this out. So they have him drive out this like brand new 2025 car, like 15 miles on it. And I'm like, oh, so they're saying you didn't get approved for a used car loan, but you got approved for like a newer car loan because I'm familiarized with risk and stuff from when I was studying to be an actuary. So I'm familiarized with risk, how banks like look at a profile, credit history, debt to income. I'm familiar with amortization, armored, amortization rates, blah blah blah. Basically, finance it and how loan rates and stuff like that, and how you can like just kind of buy into it. So I'm familiar with all of that stuff. So I'm like, okay, I know that like rates on a newer car is lower than rates on a used car because banks see it as less risky. You get a brand new car, there's like no mechanical issues. I get that part. So I'm like, okay, maybe he qualified for that. He's driving it and stuff. I'm not even a part of this part. I'm still just waiting at the lobby of this place. He's driving it. He comes back. It's like, yeah, they said I wouldn't qualify for that, but they were saying that I could lease this. I'm like, lease it? Lease it? I'm like, what? No, I'm like, lease it. Never. I mean, like, I don't, there's probably some situation out there for somebody that it makes sense. But I would never lease a car. I would just never do it because it's the dumbest thing ever, in my opinion. I'm going to pay you more than I would pay to own the car so that I can rent the car from you and I can drive it around less than 12,000 miles. You tell me how many miles I can drive. And this is just how scummy the leasing is. So they want you if it's a brand new car, they want you to drive less than 12,000 miles a year. And you know why they want you to do that? Because most factory warranties cap out at 36,000 miles or 3 years. So what they want you to do is they want you to pay a bunch of money every month to never own this car. That you literally pay like the value of the car. And just to talk numbers right here. So they tell him he can't essentially that he can't really get approved for any of these loans. I'm like, okay, wait, what about if he throws in an extra 1,500? So I was willing to like just throw in an extra 1,500. They're like, no, 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 he won't get approved. He won't get approved. I'm like, what do you mean he won't get approved? Like you guys are not even like trying to go back there and check the numbers. Like this is essentially doubling the down payment, and the car was 17,000. I'm like, so this is essentially, I mean, it was gonna be taxes and fees and stuff, but this is essentially buying 25% of the car off rip. Like this is when you do a mortgage and you do 3% down, that's something. But when you're trying to invest in a property, they want 20% down. They want that personal mortgage insurance off of that PMI. They want that off of there immediately. They want you to own 20% of that house off rip. So that is typically like a good financial standard if somebody can at least come in and put 20% of the car off rip. And I've also been going down the used car market and just kind of like that side of like TV, YouTube, everything. And what I'm seeing is I'm seeing people with worse credit scores get approved at a third of their income, not even being asked like what they pay in rent, nothing like that. They're making $3,000 getting approved for a $1,300 13 car payment, and that's them trying to own it, and they're doing $0 down. So I'm knowing something here is already not right. The fact that y'all not even, maybe the banks closed because it was after 6 p.m. on a Saturday. So I'm like, maybe the banks closed and they just like, they really don't want to let a sale walk out of here. So they trying to get him to lease this piss color yellow, like this highlighter yellow 2025 Hyundai Kona. And actually I'll pull it up right here. I'll pull it up. Let me see. Um let me pull this up. I'll pull it up right here. We'll say 2025 Hyundai Kona electric yellow. We'll call it, I think they're not going to call it piss color yellow, but they'll call it electric yellow or something. So like this is the car. So this is the, the fun color that is not really ever going to sell well, but they do it anyway so that it looks all cool on the showroom. And it's like, oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, bright colors like that. This one is the electric version. The one they was trying to get him was just the gas power. But this is the color. Who wants to drive around in this? like just off rip. Who wants to drive in this? Now there is somebody out there, and I'm not judging you for that, but you have to admit that this isn't like the standard like that people want. Like this isn't you're not gonna see too many cars this color driving down the road. Let me say that. So this is a car. The MSRP on it is $28,900, and after like the little fees that they feel comfortable passing on to you, like the delivery fee or something, it was like 30,000 something, maybe 31 with the other fees, but the factory price and the MSRP is $28,900. So they keep saying like, no, he's not approved. No, nothing else can be done. No, he's not approved. He's not approved. No, just shutting that down. And they keep going back to the leasing. Now, here is the pricing on the leasing. They wanted $660 to $680 a month, $1,500 down. And that doesn't even, they say they cover maintenance, but they don't really cover maintenance. What they do is they will get you 4 oil changes a year. So while you're paying this exorbitant price, you go to their dealership where they have all the materials, and then you get a $30, because that's probably what it would cost them out of pocket. But you get but to the person, it'll probably be like $100 oil change or whatever. But you get a $30 oil change for free 4 times out of the year. And keep in mind, you only get 4 of them for free because they want you to drive less than 12,000 miles per year. So they're charging you. So let's go ahead and let's just do the math right here. So what did I say? 660 to 680. We'll split the difference and do 670 a month. Because I don't even understand why it ranged. Maybe that was like if you wanted to get like an extra bonus coverage and thing. So this is what they expected him to pay a year for a car that he would not own. Let that sink in, bro. Like they wanted him to pay, and keep in mind, we were saying his gross income was $2,800 a month. So after taxes and stuff like that, they wanted him to pay what? A third, a fourth of his income, and this is the real kicker. This doesn't include the insurance. They mandate that you also cover their car. This is not your car, but they mandate that you cover their car with full coverage insurance, completely out of a pocket cost to you. So tack on to this 670, and really you should do this with any car that you're buying. You should be if this is the car that you're like looking at, you should be checking insurance rates before you even go there. A lot of sites do not require you to have the VIN number, but also a lot of car dealerships have the VIN number listed so that you can check previous accidents. You can do your due diligence and stuff like that. So and make sure like the car's not stolen and all that other stuff. But they wanted, so when we look at the insurance on a model year car, it's going to be higher because the value is higher because it's a brand new car, and because of that, you are going to be spending some more. Now, when we're doing the math on a different car, it was going to look at about $100 more in insurance a month, and then that's not even factoring gas, which you got to gas this car up. But let's say he doesn't do much driving because his commute to work is pretty short. It's probably like 5 to 10 miles. But let's just say he does 100. Let's just say he does $50 a week, every 2 weeks. So we'll say $100 a month. So this payment of $8,040, it really becomes $670 plus the $100 a month in gas plus $100 a month in insurance. And then we're going to multiply that by 12. This is what they wanted him to spend in a year. And this is the hidden cost right there. But just add on another $2,400 for just insurance and gas on the car. They wanted somebody to spend more than a third of their pre-tax income to lease a car that after 3 years they will not own. That is insane to me. Like, it is peak level grimy, like just shine and you just see a gold tooth ting, like this level of scummy to me. And that's why I picked this guy. Like, it is just like, I know like people gotta make money, but I think this is like one of those industries that everybody knows is predatory, but nobody like knows it's predatory. Like, how many people just they try to take advantage. So like, it's getting colder out, and I stay in the Midwest, so it's getting colder. Because we're approaching November, so temperatures are dropping. People like need to get into something reliable and safe before the Chicago winters hit, and you out here with negative 20-degree wind chill and stuff. So they know this stuff. And they think like they can just play on people's desperation. It's like that meme where it's like, oh, I just sold the single mother a 1996 Honda Civic with 300,000 miles on it, and the monthly payment $700 for 84 months. Now that's an exaggeration, but it's not that far off the mark. Like, the car industry has gotten to the point to where it's so insanely predatory that I think what's going to happen at some point is you're going to get like a very smaller version of like the 2008 financial crisis, where people had to where the housing market and how people did housing loans had to be completely restructured like by the government and changed. I think you're going to get that for cars because it's gotten, and then I would actually say that might be a good thing because it might bring down the affordability of where these cars are getting at. So where these cars are easily going $40,000-$50,000, and it's like, if the median income in the United States is $33,000 a year, how are people expected to even afford this? Like, it's getting to the point where it's insane. But back to this example. So we got the 670 times 12. Now keep in mind, they were trying to position this. They were like, this is going to be good for you. This is going to help your credit. This is what's going to you do this for 3 years, and then like you come back and you get the option afterwards to buy the car. So after I spent 3 years renting the car, I get first dibs on buying the car. Ooh, ooh, first dibs. So look, this is what you would have paid after those 3 years. This is what you would have paid. You would have paid $24,000. Now keep in mind the MSRP on this car was 28. So you would have paid 24 of that 28 renting it, being told how far you can drive, what you can do with it, and then you would have had to insure it at cost to you. And then they'll say stuff like, yeah, we cover the tires, but this is a brand new car with brand new tires with warranties for 50,000 miles, but they telling you that to drive under less than 36,000 or there will be steep penalties. So So you ain't even getting no tire change in these 3 years. And then add in the fact, because remember, they still wanted that down payment. This was not a zero down situation, and he could drive it out of there. So on top of that 24,000, add in a chunky 1,500. That's what he would have paid for the luxury of getting a hard to sell car. Because remember, it looks like this. It looks like this. The hard to sell car. 28.9. Look, you can see it right here. You can see some of them, but let's see a new one. This one's used. It's 20,000. All right, but that's 18,000 miles. But this is what they would have got. Here go the MSRP at this one. This is what they would have got for this. That 20 and it's just so it's so greedy. It's so greedy. It's so greedy. So that's why I don't mess with that. Now here's how they were doing the tactics in there. The dealer he had, we was working with, letting them see the car. The guy, he's cool and stuff. So now he's trying to bring out like the finance person in the back. You wouldn't the with their little blazer jacket, and they'll come in there and be like, "Hi, I don't." And she comes out and she's like, "Yeah, no." And she says a bunch of stuff that means nothing, and they will literally do this, and it means nothing. So this is what they say to you. Yeah, so here, look, I understand that leasing. I understand how leasing can be. Like, if it was 20 years ago, see, 20 years ago, leasing was a completely different story. 20 years ago, I wouldn't say that you should lease, but today, it's a different thing. So it's actually pretty good. Here's how you can do it. Didn't say anything. I want you to go back and hear what I just said. I did not say anything. 20 years ago, I would not recommend leasing, but that's different from today. I didn't explain how it's different at all. 20 years ago, leasing was, hey, you pay me to rent a car and you don't own it. Today, leasing is literally, you pay me to rent a car and you don't own it. It is the exact same thing. But in that sentence, that was what she said. Nothing came out of her mouth. Then she's like, "You're getting all of these savings. Like, do. I want you to pull out a calculator. Track that out, track that out, track that out." And then that's what you're pretty much getting the car for $9,000. That's what she said. You're pretty much getting the car for $9,000. She wanted somebody over there to pull out a calculator, and on their phone do it themselves. Like, yeah, tap tap. Ooh, tap tap. Oh yeah, whoa. I'm getting a new car for $9,000. Wow, you guys are really helping me. As they literally just sit there looking you in your face, watching you make a terrible financial decision. And it was just and I don't even know if leasing impacts your credit because you don't own the car. So I don't even know if like it goes on your credit like how a financing thing is, or if they were just saying like in 3 years his credit situation would just improve. But if it doesn't impact your credit, then that's just like a flat out lie to the face. Like, oh yeah, after you do this for 3 years, it's gonna look good on your credit. It's gonna help. It's gonna help. No, it's not. It's not gonna help you after you lost $25,620 for a car you don't own. And now moving to a separate friend, they leased a car and they leased it for 2 years, and then they were offered to buy the car for 20,000 more dollars. And I think like when we did the math, they were basically paying $45,000 for a car that was a $25,000 car brand new. And they like realized like, damn, yeah, I kind of made a bad decision there, but it's too late. But I'm just saying, if that tracks, what was going to happen is after these 3 years, after he damn near paid off the entire car, after these 3 years, they were going to offer it to him for 25 more $1,000. It's just like, ugh, like this leasing. It's spooky. It's spooky how they'll do you and stuff. So they were probably, and then you have to say no like 10,000 times. You have to say no like 10,000 times. You legit, and they kind of play on the fact that there's like this social contract of not getting rude. But honestly, I think you should be rude. Like I wouldn't recommend this, but you kind of got to be an asshole. Like you have to be like, no, no, I'm not doing that. Stop playing with me. No, no. Like you have to get aggressive and be like, stop, stop, because he had to say no about 7 to 10 times. Like no, like I don't think that this is a bit much. This isn't like, this is out of my budget. This isn't nearly, this is over $200 more than what I was willing to spend. And then insurance and the car, you can't do anything about the car. I mean, like it's a highlighter. Like you want me to just drive around in like a highlighter yellow. And he's like, no, no, I'm good. No, no, I'm good. No, no. And I think it was legit about 10 to 15 minutes of no's. And then like the salesman, that's when he got the lady and had to tell her no like a bunch of times, like no, no, I want to leave. And I get wanting to make that sale, especially after you spent this time here and all that stuff, but you're not about to get me to pay $700 a month to drive a car I don't own and never will own, really. That part was crazy to me. And then the fact that they want a down payment. Why am I giving you a down payment on a car I'm never gonna own? So now they throw in fees and stuff for you to rent their car and never get to keep it unless you buy it for even more or just absurd money. So and that's what I wanted to say again. So this one, this one is a used car, 2025, 18,000 miles on it. If we were to double this, right? If we was to double this and say, because let's say he just did the 36,000 miles, how much lower do you think this would be? How much lower do you think it'd be? Would it be worth 18,000, maybe 17? I mean, we are doubling it, and then now it's 3 years older too. So this is a model year. I am in the year 2025. This one only has 18,000 miles on it. So let's say if it was 3 years later in 2028, and it's got 36,000 miles on it, how much do you think that I could reasonably expect it to go for? It'll probably be approaching even lower than this. It'll probably be like $16,000. But what they're gonna tell you is, hey, you already been driving the car, right? You already dumped all of this money into the car, right? So why don't we give you a deal and let you buy the car for $22,000? 6 year finance or something like that. And look, and I already know it. I don't even have to be there. I'm just telling you, this is, I know exactly how I would have done it. And they're gonna be like, look, they're gonna pull out a little piece of paper. You was paying $670 a month, but your payment gonna drop to, ooh yeah, it's gonna drop to $425. Yeah, you're gonna be saving money. This is a good thing for you, knowing that if you didn't take that car, it's going back on their lot and selling for less. That is just peak scummy, bro. Like scummy. Like I get it's a job, I get it's a thing, but it's you versus them. Like they are literally not on your side unless maybe. But I don't even think that they on your side. I'm not even comfortable like leaving it open because that might let somebody else who sees this think that maybe this is one of the good ones and I can trust them. Case in point, I see like some of these used car salesmen make YouTube videos or like TikTok accounts. And I saw one tell this guy, like this guy came there, he said, "Hey, I'm really like I made a bad decision. I got this BMW. The monthly payment is $950 a month. I can't really afford that. It's kind of stressing me out. I want to give the car back." They're like, "Well, the car is worth like 12,000 less than what you still owe on it. You can do that, but you're gonna have to pay that 12,000." Or he tells him, "You can let me rent out the car for you, and I'll like you still got to get insurance on it, and you still got to do all this other stuff. I'm gonna take 40% of the money, and then I'll take from your 60%, I'll pay like the monthly payment. And if there's anything left over, I give that to you as profit. Imagine, and he's saying that, and he's got a camera right there, and he's comfortable enough to say this in camera, and he's saying like, yeah, I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out by doing this. And the guy was like, thank you, left there saying thank you. But if you just take a second back, he could have rented out his own car. It would have been in his possession. And when it was coming up, he could have been like, oh yeah, I got somebody who wants to rent it out for a week, let me just clean it out. And then he could have rented out. This dude is taking 40% of his money to rent out this car on an app that he could do it himself. And this guy just thought like he just got helped. He didn't get helped, he got played, bro. Imagine somebody saying like, let me borrow your stuff, let me use your stuff. You take the risk of, you still got to insure it, you still got to pay it, it's all in your name, blah blah blah. But you give it to me, I'm gonna rent it out, and then I'm gonna take 40%. And then it was actually because the site they were using had an 85-15 split, so the user got 85%, but the site got 15% for setting it up for you. So he was actually getting 60% of 85%. So really, he was getting like what? I'm sorry, what was he getting, like 50%? He wasn't even getting like a 60-40. It's probably more so like a 55. I mean, not even a 55. It's probably more so like a 48, like 48%. It's probably what he was getting out of that. So that was my situation. This story does have a happy ending. So my buddy, he has kind of like an off and on relationship with his father. His father is like, they haven't talked in the last 3 years, but his mom like hit him up. She's like, look, I know you and your dad haven't been really getting along like that, but maybe this is the kind of situation he can help you with, because he's a car salesman. Like, you can go to his dealership, he can help you out, and maybe this like be the thing that like opens that door so you two can like talk again. So we go there. And I just want to tell you, like, this is completely, again, how completely different it is, night and day. Now, that was Saturday, this Monday. Now we move to Monday. He's able to get approved for a car loan. Oh, wow. So the loan, and then this time and it was $2,000 down again. So now he's able to get approved. And this car was a 2025. It was used, but it had less than 5,000 miles on it. It was originally 23,000, but the dad was able to like, cause he works at the dealership, and this is just kind of how much stuff you don't really know behind the scenes. He's able to get it down to like 17 something. So that's kind of, and even then they're making a profit. So you have to wonder like, what did they get from this car to where it was listed for 23, but you could drop it a fourth of its value, $6,000, and still it can be like it can still be profitable to them. So that was another thing that kind of shocked me, because I thought like used cars and stuff, I thought they had a little bit of wiggle room, like maybe like $2,000, but not $6,000 that you can just drop the price by and still make a profit. So that gets me thinking like, how many people are just like trading in or giving a car or selling it for nothing, for next to nothing. And I get that, like, when you owe on a car, you can sell it to a dealership pretty easily, because they understand like that you owe on a car, and they whole network is set up like that. Like, I can't private sell a car and be like, hey, so I owe 15 on it. You give me 16, and then I'm gonna pay it off, and then once they give me the title, I'll give it to you. They're just not gonna do that. Nobody's gonna do that. So, but happy ending there. He gets a new payment. It's $475 a month. The 2,000 down, and gets approved for this no co-signer. And that was another thing. They never asked us, like, I showed up there as a grown adult with this other grown adult. They never once asked him, was like, are you interested? Was like, is there a cosigner that's gonna help you? Like, is it just you? They never once asked any of that. They just like, banks aren't gonna approve you. Get the lease, get the lease, get the lease, get the lease, get the lease. And I was just like, wow, it's just so scummy looking back. I don't know. And I've just been going down that rabbit hole looking at how scummy and like the used car market just really is. It's just predatory. It's to the point to where the average monthly car note payment is $800 in America. Who has this like infinite money glitch to pay $800? And keep in mind, let's just do that right here. 800 times 12. Who has this just to drive a car? Just to drive a car, $9,600. My friend's mother, stepmother, was paying $1,100 a month to drive a BMW that got repossessed. Who has this money? And clearly she didn't, because it got repossessed. But when you think about this stuff, and the kind of the approval rate on this stuff, and I'm not saying that my friend should necessarily been approved for anything. He should have, honestly. Like, if I was looking at his objectively looking at his credit profile, and with the previous things that I mentioned, he should get approved for something. But I don't think these people should be getting approved for these loans anymore. Because if you're making $33,000 a year, you wouldn't even get approved for a mortgage. Like, and that's you living at that place. That's you and that's you going from renting a place that costs more money. You wouldn't even get approved for a mortgage with how some of these companies are. But they'll just let you get into this expensive car loan. They'll tell you, they let you do 6, 7, 8, and in some cases even 9-year leasing terms, just so that you can afford the car. And then it's $75,000 cars and trucks, and a lot of these people, they buy them because it's like a status symbol that you want to feel good and stuff. I bought my new car. It was a pretty cheap car. I bought it brand new in 2022 because COVID like destroyed the used car market. I was not buying used. I was not finna pay more than what the car was worth brand new for a used car with miles. So I just bought a brand new car. Um, but I put 8,000 down. I bought like a third of the car off rip, and then I got a 3.2 interest rate because my credit score is pretty high. Like, I've been into finances for like a minute, and then my payment came out to $353. And I hate my payment. Like, I don't like, I know it's a good deal. I know I'm not losing much in interest, and I know like it's not even worth it for me to pay it off quicker because I can make more money investing it. But even still, like, it's annoying to me just knowing that $353 keeps coming out of my account. Well, really, I was really paying extra because I was paying 400 until I had just put it to 355 when I was setting back up like my new auto pay because I had switched banks. But I put it back to 355 a month, and I'm like, I was just thinking of it, and I'm like, wow, and it annoys me that that's just a bill. Like, I'm like, I can't wait till I own this car completely, and I'm not paying nothing to nobody. And that's how I think about it at 355. Imagine at like $800 a month. Imagine at what they were trying to put him in to not even own the car. Imagine $700 coming out, trying to think about how to afford the insurance. It really came out, when we did the math earlier, it really came out to about $900 a month. Imagine trying to come up with a third of your income a month just to try to like afford a car that you cannot even keep at the end of the 3 years. They could tell you like, nah, we don't want that. They could be like, nah, you don't want to pay this absurdly high price with us. Then nah, we take the car back. You got to go start over at a different loan. They can do that stuff, and you just spent like, because remember, the median income in America is 33,000, and I think he was right at that 33,000 mark. And then just a third of your income, and in some cases more than a third. And then you gotta come up with housing, you gotta do all this other stuff. It's really not worth it. in a lot of these cases. And I get that the car system in America is set up, that just America in general is set up to where you kind of need a car in a lot of cases, unless you live in a city that actually, like, expanded out. It's like transit system, like the trains, the buses, and stuff like that. I get that you need a car, but you do not need an expensive car. You do not need a car that comes brand new with all of this other stuff. Sometimes you really just need a car to get from point A to B. And I want to show what a cheap brand new car looks like. So this is a Venue 2025. This is like kind of like a little compact SUV or crossover, whatever they want to call it. And this, a brand new, I don't know why you would buy like brand new, it's $22,000. Now, don't buy it used, because look, they say low mileage. They're trying to make it like that. Brand new, this car is $22,000. And what do you get with that? One, because it's brand new, you get a lower interest rate, so your payment is more than likely going to be lower than if you bought this one with low mileage or something like that. Don't do that. Just there are brand new cars that are cheap, and it's going to be like a cheaper car. Like, you're going to touch the thing and it's plastic. It's going to be cloth seats. It's going to be like, it's not going to be the best surround system, but I personally value so much more being able to comfortably afford my lifestyle than I do someone than I do being perceived as if I can comfortably afford my lifestyle. Like the stress, and I just went through this like for the last year or so. Like, my fiance, while she was pregnant, she couldn't work, or because of like motion sickness and stuff. And then at a certain point, she's too big, and not too many people want to hire a pregnant woman, like a visibly pregnant woman. But so going through that, doing that for a year, it really, like, and then like just that kind of like putting some budget constraints on that, just feeling that, I just imagine like how many people just like sign up and to feel that for 5, 6, 7 years just to drive a car. I don't think it's worth it. And that new car allure, it falls off so quickly, evidenced by the fact that you see people trading out of those cars. That's why you see these cars with low mileage, 7,000 miles on it, 18,000 miles. This isn't somebody who drove the car 200, 300,000 miles that the car lifespan has. This isn't somebody who did that. This is somebody who bought a brand new car. They either couldn't afford it or they got bored of it. And that's what's going to happen. I think the new car allure, the love of a new car, it lasts about 3 months. And I'm so serious. It lasts about 3 months. I was in love with my new car, and it's a cheaper car, but it was it was the newest car. It was my first finance and stuff. It lasted 3 months. And after that, I was missing my paid off car that was from 2006, and I was in 2022. It legit lasts 3 months, I think, and probably even less than that. And I think after 3 months was when I started having to make the payments. So after you're not even in love with the car anymore, and then that's when you start having to make the payments. It's just not worth it. So if you are looking at a new car, if you are doing anything of the sort, or you are just in the market for that, keep that in mind. If you know somebody who's about to get in the market to that, you can share this video. But also, I don't know, try to keep them level headed. This new car stuff is getting insane, and I think it's pretty scummy. But wherever you are, I hope you had a great day. I hope this video actually helped somebody or interesting. If you made it this far, I guess it was interesting. I mean, you made it this far. Thank you for any other support, all that other stuff. I'm gonna try to make more videos now that I'm established. I got the certified dad thing on lock. So yeah, that one's pretty good. Pretty good. I even got dad jokes now. So I'm doing my thing. But all right, everybody, have a good time. Good rest of your day. It's about 5 a.m. I think I'm gonna work from home today because I am cooked.